Jonathan cramped.
We're back at Kyalami for rounds 7 and 8 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. It's a beautiful day. It's very cold. That's going to affect the cars somewhat. Two different manufacturers on pole position for the 2 rounds. We've got Dion Joubert in the Petronas Opel on pole for round 7 and Sean van der Linde on pole in the BMW for round 8. It's going to be a great racing, a full pack of cars. A lot of new pro cars. We've got a new BMW pro car being driven by Richard Sorensen, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
So the battle continues between the manufacturers and the drivers. It's around 7 and 8 at Kyalami. We haven't even reached the halfway mark yet, and the battle lines have been drawn so far this season. Camille de Villiers 19 points ahead of Sean Watson-Smith. He's got 17 on Terry Moss, but look at that battle for third between Moss, Peters and Foss, only 7 points between them. A team that was very happy, obviously, was the Petronas Opel Motorsport team, with Dion Joubert planting his car squarely on pole position for round 7. Camille de Villiers starting on the front row of the grid. With him, Anthony Taylor does well to go into 3rd position and Duncan Foss into 4th. But how did Dion feel?
It's been a while since I've been even competitive, never mind challenging for poles. A little bit of a surprise, but it was 2 very good laps, and we've been looking good over the weekend. I'm very happy.
Let's have a look at the grid for round 7 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Well, on pole position for the first time since 1996, Dion Joubert in the Petronas Opel. 2nd position, carrying 50 kilograms. Last year's champion, Janelle de Villiers, in the first of the BP Nissans. Next to him, in 3rd position, Anthony Taylor in the N-Gen Audi. And then Duncan Foss, 2nd of the BP Nissans. The 2nd Opel of Sean Watson-Smith, 2nd currently in the championship. And in 6th position, the 1st of the BMWs, that's Marco dos Santos.
12 laps, 22 cars on the grid in pole position. It is Dion Joubert, but I think the factor in this race that we would have to look out for, Jonathan, is the man Sean van der Linde, who is at the back of the field after not being able to put a qualifying lap together because of gearbox problems.
Well, that's going to be
yesterday.
That's going to be to look for. The first pole position since 1996 of Dion Joubert, and he leads the field across the line for the start of round 7 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Is he going to be able to keep the lead from Janelle de Villiers? He is. He takes that corner first. This is going to be a very, very exciting race.
Well, if you look at the qualifying times, there was 0.002 of a second between Dion Joubert and Janelle de Villiers, going back there to the pro cars, and in pole position for the first time in his pro car career, Marco de Cunha. So we'll keep an eye out for Marco de Cunha and George Mercedes, who are the 2 leading pro cars in the BP Nissan Primeras. But the field now down the old main straight into Goodyear sweep. There's a lot of jockeying for position going on right throughout the field. We'll watch out for Sean van der Linde. Where is he? Well, he's past Neil Stephen already.
Anthony Taylor having a look on the outside of Janelle de Villiers. He's now going to look on the inside as they head towards the S's for the first time, chasing Dion Joubert. Has Anthony got him? Well, he's on the inside there. Lovely manoeuvre from Anthony Taylor. Just sneaks in front of Janelle de Villiers and up into 2nd place. That Audi really has got it together. The new engines obviously going very, very well indeed.
And of course, since the last round at Welcome, they've had some more testing time.
Sean Watson-Smith, 2nd in the championship, and he's chasing Janelle de Villiers, both in the championship and on the road. He's just snuck in behind Duncan Foss there as they come down the mine shaft for the first time. Look behind them, Terry Moss and Marco dos Santos having a ding-dong battle as they come to the fastest part of the circuit. And it's Terry Moss in that Audi that's got past him.
And it's Mark Peters just behind them as well. Not even on 1/12 of this race yet, to quote a certain Mr. Murray Walker. But Dion Joubert has a comfortable lead at this stage. Comfortable in terms of touring car racing indeed. As the field makes their way through the Yokohama King for the first time, we'll be able to give you all the gaps.
There is van der Linde coming through on the inside. This is what we're going to watch for. Sean really has got that BMW going well. Unfortunately, had to start at the back due to some mechanical problem, but it's his favourite circuit, the BMW, in Sean's hands, really going well at Kyalami.
He's won here before. I don't think he's going to win this one, but he'll certainly move up the field if he doesn't have a recurrence of that gearbox problem that he had yesterday in qualifying. So Dion Joubert led Anthony Taylor by 0.9 of a second at the end of that lap. Camille de Villiers holding down third. Duncan Foss falls fourth, followed by Sean Watson-Smith.
Oh, De Santos gets it very sideways as they come out of Nashua, but he's managed to keep it together. Had suffered a lot from oversteer as Marco De Santos. That was what he was claiming. He had the problem at Velcom.
And here are the two privateers in this field. Colin Hasty moving up to the touring car category.
And there's Mark Peters. Is he going to go on the inside? Well, he takes a bit of a grassy line to get through past De Santos. It's going to be nail-biting as they go into the S's. It's Peters on the right-hand side. Marco De Santos, the car closest to us in the BMW, and De Santos gets the advantage as they come out of the second S.
Good battle there at the front of the field. Camille de Villiers is still holding down that third position. Anthony Taylor seems to be closing in slightly on Dion Jabeur. We'll have to keep an eye on that gap. It was 0.9 of a second at the end of the previous lap. This is the battle for third. It is Camille de Villiers from Duncan Foss. And then the second Audi of Terry Moss. Well, there's following in the footsteps of Sean Watson-Smith as well. And there he comes on the inside of Duncan Foss. He's got track position, but is Foss going to concede that corner? He should do that because...
Yes, it is. Nice manoeuvre from Sean. And Sean Watson-Smith goes up to fourth position. And here's Terry Moss having a look at Duncan Foss as well.
Foss is coming back. No, gets the door slammed in his face as they complete lap 2 out of 12. Dion Jabeur had 0.9. He's got 0.8 over Anthony Taylor now. De Villiers third and just ahead of it Sean Watson-Smith, Duncan Foss, Terry Moss. They are really as close as that.
Well, the Nissan team done a bit of development work with Janil de Villiers' suspension. He's got a new suspension setting. They will be putting that on both Duncan Foss and Mark Peters' car in the near future for the next racing down in Cape Town in a couple of weeks' time. But certainly, it's Dion Jabeur. Lovely to see him at the head of the field again. And that's Taylor. Taylor looks like he's dropping back. Taylor got trouble. Janil de Villiers. Yes, that's...
and that was a critical point.
And of course he had a CB problem, we remember, down in Velcom. So not good for Audi at Kyalami in this round 7 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series as Anthony Taylor, man from Krugersdorp, parks his car on the side of the road, loses third position.
Here's the pro car battle. Marco de Cunha has slipped down to second position from pole position behind his teammate George Besaidnout. There they go.
These are the two pro cars, slightly detuned, I would say, to keep the cost down. They're detuned touring cars, but a good healthy field. We've got 22 cars in all racing here, and we've got about 10 of those being pro cars.
And the other interesting factor there is the man who won last year's Vodacom Sports 2000 Championship, Irshad Jaffer, who has taken over the Colin Hasty pro car, and he's holding down third as we return to this battle for second. And it seems like Camille de Villiers is defending all the time.
Well, there's Sean Watson-Smith having a look on the inside, having a look on the outside. He seems to be being held up by Janil. He overtook Duncan Foss in this position a couple of laps ago. Let's see if he's not going to... No, he's not going to get past Janil now, so maybe next lap.
Well, I tell you what, you don't want to play your hand too early, and look at how Terry Moss and Sean van der Linde have closed in. Van der Linde taking a little bit more of a tight line through that corner. I think Terry Moss is probably going to get the better drive out of the corner as they come up after lap 5. There is 4.8 seconds between Dion Jabeur, race leader, and Camille de Villiers, the man who is under serious pressure from Sean Watson-Smith. Duncan Foss is going to try and get in between them at least so they can help protect de Villiers' position, but he has to be careful of Terry Moss. Sean van der Linde is still putting huge pressure on Terry Moss as well.
Well, I almost get the impression that de Villiers is holding up Watson-Smith here. I think Sean might have a look on the inside here. Comes out of the slipstream. No, just too far behind Janil there. Let's see if he has another go as he comes into Clubhouse. Has another look on the outside, dodging and weaving, but almost like boxing it is at the moment. But Watson-Smith, I think he's being held up. They will put Opel first and second. They really have got it together, Mike Carroll.
And there it goes. Oh, they are neck and neck through the S's. De Villiers has the track position to get the better drive up the hill, but Dion Jabeur definitely showed his hand there.
Well, you see Duncan Foss going up the outside as well, and then Terry Moss and Sean van der Linde right behind. I think, look at that. That is very, very close indeed, Hendrik. And de Villiers manages to keep that position, coming down to the fastest part of the circuit, about 240 kilometers an hour as they go into this left-hander. That's Watson Smith in the Opal. He's chasing Janil de Villiers. De Villiers keeps his position. Duncan Foss right behind. Is Foss going to have a look on the inside? No.
Well, you see, the problem for Watson Smith is that he both has to attack de Villiers and he has to protect his third position from Duncan Foss. And this whole battle going on. Foss takes a look down, he's making a touch.
Oh, yes, there goes Watson Smith.
I see that happening.
Well, he kept
held his position. I think quick thinking there by Foss. I think he probably would have been in some
severely
trouble after
reprimanded,
that one.
I think.
Indeed. So he dropped back, but that allowed Terry Moss and Sean van der Linde rather to close right in on them. This battle has slowed them down, and here they come. This is de Villiers, who's now opened up a bit of a lead from Watson Smith, and look at that bonnet of that Audi.
Van der Linde's going to have him.
He's got him. He's got him. A nice move, but Moss is not giving up. He's going down on the inside for Nashua corner, and he's going to take back that fifth position.
Well done, Terry Moss. Kept it together. Of course, Terry Moss, a past touring car champion as well in that Audi. They're having a lovely battle, Colin Hastie and Neil Stephen. They really are neck and neck, and they could go either way.
They're now coming up to the slower cars as well.
Yes, indeed, Jonathan, this battle can go either way, but I tell you what, at the front of the field, there is still a lot of action.
But here's Watson Smith. This is for second position against Janil de Villiers. They're coming into the first of the S's here at AA Kyalami.
Oh,
Watson Smith has gone almost sailing past him. So it's Opal now 1 and 2. Dion Joubert 7.5 seconds ahead of now his teammate Sean Watson Smith.
I can just picture the roar that went up down the pits when the pit crew and the whole Opel Motorsport crew saw that move. A nice move that it was a kind of a playing chicken going into that first of the S's. Who was going to break first?
Well, Sean Watson Smith in the blue and yellow car there in the Petronas Opel, he really has pulled out. De Villiers obviously was holding him up, but this will take Sean further or closer to Janil de Villiers in the championship. There's van der Linde and Moss once again. Sean van der Linde in that BMW just cannot seem to get probably past the widest Audi in South Africa at the moment.
Yeah, I almost said the one with the strangest bonnet. Nice battle, still continuing. Terry Moss holding Sean van der Linde for fifth position. They are now on lap 10. They've completed 9.
And Dion Joubert, let's catch our breath for a minute. Dion Joubert, after 9 laps, ahead of his teammate Sean Watson Smith. Those are the two Opals. Janil de Villiers, is that Duncan Foss?
Duncan Foss on the inside of Janil de Villiers.
Well, I wonder
if strange. He must have a problem.
Yeah. Wonder if he has. It's very unlike Janil de Villiers to let his teammate pass, but maybe a problem he's got.
Let me put this one past you, Jonathan. De Villiers is carrying 50 kilograms of weight because of his victory last time out. If he finishes where he is now, fourth, he's going to lose all of it, I think.
Well, that's also true, but that will make him competitive in the second race in the afternoon, and van der Linde looks like he's got past Terry Moss this time. Yes, he has. Is he going to be able to pull out a bit of a lead? Well, Terry having another look. Oh! Terry, don't try and push me off, otherwise I will keep my BMW ahead of you. So a bit of tit for tat. That's strong driving, but we'll have to see what the steward, Steve Harding, and his team think about that at the end of the race.
I think Moss can probably make a case for deliberate blocking there. Although, of course, van der Linde didn't weave at all.
Yeah.
He just kept that line and he forced his opposition further back. But I was surprised that Moss left that door so wide open in Goodyear corner.
Well, I don't know if there's been a bit of body contact there, Hendrik, because a flailing piece of bumper, we've seen that from the BMW, and in fact the piece has left the car. So here's Colin Hastie and Neil Stephen, the two privateers, having another go at each other. Well, Neil Stephen obviously came back. Hastie, maybe he made a mistake, but it's Hastie on the left-hand side in the Nissan and Neil Stephen in the privateer Continental Audi, and they're really having a ding-dong battle.
I'm sure Neil Stephen is very glad that there's somebody at least that he can race against, because up to now he's been a lone runner at the back of the bunch of works cars. So I'm pretty sure that they are playing a little bit with each other. Of course, it's serious racing. Dion Joubert on his final lap and is on his way to a fine victory, and it might even be an Opel 1-2 if everything holds together for them.
And there's van der Linde going past Janelle de Villiers. They did contact there. They made contact there.
Man,
What's
has
going to
Sean
happen?
van der Linde been in the wars or what?
It certainly has.
He's closing in on de Villiers, who is in 4th position.
Is he going to give Janelle a little bit of a nudge as they come into the S's? But hard driving from van der Linde. Absolutely great to see Sean van der Linde really, really going for it. And he's right up against championship leader Janelle de Villiers in the BP Nissan.
I'll tell you what, Jonathan, if anything happens in this fight between de Villiers and van der Linde, and van der Linde comes off worst, it could shake up the championship, not necessarily after this round, but with Watson Smith in 2nd position, he's 19 points down on de Villiers in the championship, and if de Villiers has any problem, then it's going to be substantially different.
Now this is our leader coming into the chicane for the final time. Dion Joubert is going to be absolutely delighted with this win. I can't remember the last time he won in the Opal, but this is going to be a superb victory for the man from Cape Town. Dion Joubert comes in to win round 7 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series in his Patronus Opal.
Well, in fact, Jonathan, it was in Welcome last year, but look at this battle for 4th. This is from Janelle de Villiers' car. On the inside is Sean van der Linde. He's gone through Terry Moss. This is the run for the line. And van der Linde, I think, is just out of Terry Moss, pulls in next to de Villiers. And yes, indeed, Sean van der Linde takes that 4th position, relegating Janelle de Villiers down to 5th place. Terry Moss coming through in 6th position. There is confirmation with Dion Joubert taking a great victory from Sean Watson-Smith, Duncan Foss, Sean van der Linde, Janelle de Villiers and Terry Moss.
For the first time in a long time, Dion Joubert, well done. Excellent.
I guess it wasn't gifted this time. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that the guys who work on my car, you know, wait for. Who really, you know, show the way around. It's great. And if I may, I'd like to just dedicate this win to Marco Calavella, who was one of us, and he's sadly not around anymore.
Sean, 2nd position, an Opal 1-2. Obviously delighted.
I'm stoked. I'm really pleased. Pleased for Dion too. You know, he's worked really hard. We work well together, and I'm pleased that he managed to get the win. You know, we pulled away from Janelle in the championship, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm really happy.
The round on the parade lap just before the start of round 8 of the Bankfin Touring Car Championship. Sean van der Linde had such a great drive in round 7, coming up from the back of the grid to finish in 4th position. Next to him on the front row will be Anthony Taylor from Audi, who suffered some electrical problems in the previous race. They have been fixed. Then Janelle de Villiers, reigning champion and points leader, who finished 5th only in the previous round, so he will like to improve on that result. As the field starts to form up, they are going to get into position. Sean van der Linde leads them very, very slowly. They wait for the lights to turn red, and we are in business. Sean van der Linde leads the field off the line. Anthony Taylor pulls into 2nd position. Janelle de Villiers into 3rd as they go through the Telkom sweep for the first time. This is going to be a 12-lapper, and lots of action promised. There's lots of oil and dirt on the track surface, which makes for very little grip, low grip levels, and that is bound to have some kind of an effect on the outcome of this race. We've seen some real shenanigans going on in some of the races before this because of the slipperiness of the track surface. So Sean van der Linde starting to pull away and starting to open up a slight gap over Anthony Taylor.
Well, Sean certainly got a blinding start there over Anthony Taylor. As you saw, he formed the grid very, very slowly indeed. It's probably one of the slowest ones we've seen all year so far. Seems to have given him a distinct advantage over Anthony Taylor. Hopefully the problem of the Audi that we saw in round 7 is not going to happen in this particular race. Had a loose connection, apparently. That was but Taylor's lost it. Taylor de Villiers going through. Now Sean Watson-Smith, the man behind him, is also the man behind Janelle de Villiers in the championship as well. 13 points is the difference. One of the closest championships we've seen in a long time. See if Watson-Smith can outdrag Taylor. Anthony Taylor goes from 2nd to 4th in one straight.
He must have made some kind of mistake or had something go wrong in the S's, Jonathan, and he's falling back much quicker than he goes forward, it seems. With Duncan Foss also going past Anthony Taylor, I suspect he's got some kind of a problem. And there's Marco dos
Santos and Terry Moss having a look at each other. Terry Moss and Sean van der Linde had a brilliant battle in the last round, and Terry mixing it once again with the BMWs. Looks like he's...
Taylor into the pits. Taylor into the pits. There he goes. That's Anthony Taylor going into the pits. So his unsuccessful weekend continues.
And Marco dos Santos, who was mixing it with Terry Moss, just loses out slightly and lets Duncan Foss. There's Anthony Taylor's car, having a terrible weekend so far at Kyalami. Something wrong there? It's fixed now, and Anthony Taylor's back in the fray.
Okay, so he's going to join right at the back of the field as we go to the battle for fourth position. Oh, that's Brian Martin in the pro car category. Unfortunately, he is out. Brian Martin, who only completed 3 laps in the previous race. And so his nightmare weekend continues as well.
A lot of people not enjoying Kyalami, but one man who is enjoying it at the moment is Sean van der Linde in the BMW. He leads from Janelle de Villiers, Sean Watson-Smith, Duncan Foss and Dion Joubert. Dion Joubert, winner of round 7 here a little earlier this afternoon, and he's mixing it with Duncan Foss.
You can see that the sun is going down very fast in the west here at Kyalami, and that poses a problem in some of these corners, specifically Sunset Corner, which is named for exactly that reason, where the sun shines right into the faces of the drivers, and that is one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Right, Sean van der Linde pulling away. Here he comes. Easy.
Well, Janelle de Villiers definitely trying. Bit of smoking from the brakes there as he tries very, very hard to catch Sean van der Linde. See the second of the BMWs coming through there. There is Duncan Foss and Dion Joubert. They're having a good battle. That's for 4th position at the moment. Through the kink. There's Terry Moss.
Let's keep the championship situation in mind.
Duncan Foss going through.
Goes through. Past Sean Watson-Smith. Well, also Nissen up into 2nd and 3rd.
Now Watson-Smith's got a problem. This is terrible because his 2nd position in the championship looks like going away to a certain extent with Sean Watson-Smith. Had a brilliant 2nd place in round 7.
Oh,
and there's Marco dos Santos. Yeah, not a happy weekend for last year's privateer champion, now driving a Works BMW, and that looks like the end of his race.
De Villiers, he's right there now. There's absolutely nothing between the two of them. He's checking out, where can I get through? I think De Villiers is faster. He has set the quickest lap of this race so far. And he is looking for a way past Sean van der Linde. Van der Linde is not going to make it easy for him. BMW needs a win. Van der Linde goes in deep again. He's going to try around the outside. Oh, that's a brave move as the two almost touch. And van der Linde back into the lead. What De Villiers was trying to do was to get himself on the inside for the chicane. That didn't work, and I think he might have just played that card too early.
Well, we'll see what happens here. I don't believe he's going to be able to go around the outside, but stranger things have happened. Sean van der Linde keeps the racing line, but now it's a tremendous drag down the straight. Who's got the legs? The Nissan just walked past the BMW there. Janelle de Villiers really is a superb driver, and he just almost made van der Linde look like he was standing still there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, it does seem to me that over the last half a lap or so, van der Linde slowed down dramatically. I mean, de Villiers up to that point did close in, but not that fast. But over the last half a lap or so, he just closed in dramatically. So I think van der Linde might have a bit of a problem. That said, de Villiers made a good move there. It's a brave maneuver to go around the outside there, but he got the drive, and there's the battle in the pro car category. This is George Boussainot and Marco de Cunha, 2 teammates. Look at how close they are now. De Cunha had a problem. He didn't finish the previous race, so he needs to get up there. I think the good news for these two is the fact that Colin Hastie is out of the championship. I think it's bad for the motorsport in this country that Colin Hastie will not be racing here anymore because of all kinds of
financial constraints, I guess we call it. That Golf is really blocked him very badly, and gives van der Linde a look up the inside. He's going to have a look up the inside as they come up to the top of the hill.
But good reaction there from de Villiers. Goes on the inside, takes the protected line, and there comes van der Linde.
Oh, gives him a nasty bump. Right, I'm here, Janelle. I am right here, and I'm right behind you.
Well, van der Linde was on a faster line through there. De Villiers was defending, so he would have been slower in that corner, and that explains why van der Linde came up so quickly and so soon up to him. I wouldn't put that down to anything more than a racing incident. This is Anthony Taylor, who's catching up to
Colin Hasty. That's right. Hasty in the Privateer Nissan Primera. That was the car that Marco de Santos won the Privateers Championship in last year, and Taylor goes through and into Vodacom for the last time. It's Janelle de Villiers, 1997 champion, 98 champion, 99 champion, and on his way to another victory in this year's.
Now, don't be confused as they come up to George Poseidon, who's leading the Pro Car category. There he is. This is de Villiers, there's Van der Linde, there's Voss, this is Marco Acuna, second in the Pro Car category. And Geniel de Villiers is going to come through to take his 37th victory, career victory in touring car racing.
He is there we are, the most successful touring car racer in the country, followed by Sean van der Linde and Duncan Voss. So it's Nissan, BMW, Nissan.
Let's run through those top 6 for you. It's Geniel de Villiers from van der Linde to extend his championship position. Nissan's Duncan Voss in third, Dion Jabeur coming through in fourth, Terry Moss fifth, and Mark Peters finishing in 6th position.
Janelle, Sean gave you a good race there, didn't he?
I'll tell you one thing, it's the hardest 6 laps. The beginning was the hardest couple of laps that I've driven in my life. It's like 6 qualifying laps in the beginning. It was just, the pace was just unbelievably quick. And the beginning I didn't think I was going to catch him, and then I saw gradually I was creeping closer in the middle of the race, and I managed to get past.
Not only that, Geniel, you now have a lead of 31 points over Sean Watson-Smith. Duncan Voss is into third, and only 9 points separate third through 7th.